Okay, day two. Just talking to the camera. We're gonna do this while I'm working out. So you probably see me coming over here doing my pull-ups. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about right now, but one of my favorite things to do is work out. And when it comes down to it, I know I talked about this yesterday. You probably can't even see my face that well, but that's okay. This isn't about being perfect either. What am I doing right now? So we got a 25-minute clock to just move leisurely through 5 strict pull-ups, 5 back squats, 5 ring dips. Now, when it comes down to it, 25 minutes or 10 rounds, whatever comes first. I'm just kind of moving. I get every 2 minutes, every 2.5 minutes, just doing a new round of each of the exercises here. And right now, it doesn't feel overly hard, challenging, which is good. You know, it's easy for me to compare myself to my old self and think about, like, man, what would I used to have been able to do? And that's okay, because you know what? I should probably move this around so you can see me a lot better. I'll be doing my pull-ups here in just a second, but you know, that's one thing that a lot of people do is they compare what they are where they are now from where they used to be. And it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite concepts called the gap versus the gain mindset. Because when you're doing that, comparing yourself where you used to be to where you are now, you're putting yourself in the gap. And you know what? It's not helpful. It's helpful in certain contexts, but at the same time, so one of the best things you can do is actually always measure backwards. Think about where you started. In this case, in my case, like what's going to help me here move forward is see the progress that I've made. And the only way you see progress is one, when you measure backwards, and two, I'm not good at moving this camera, guys, and two, when you actually fucking celebrate it, you know? Cool. Honestly, there's a time and a place to think about where you used to be, but when you spend all of your time there, and back to what I was saying, it's like there's a lot of me that wants to, go heavier on the back squat because I used to be able to squat heavier, do these harder things, but like that's also not just in training, not in working out, but in life. What's the right dose for you right now? And that's the most important thing. A lot of people don't know, right? And I think that'd be a really useful thing for a lot of people to do. But over the last few years, I've spent a lot of time working with business owners, talking with business owners, and it's like the things that they think are what's wrong are not the things. Like those might be problems, but a lot of times they are not the root of the problem. They're experiencing the problem, which is the symptom of the root. And a lot of the root is really what's going on in their mind. And what I mean by that is like they're the bottleneck in their business. They are the thing standing in their own way 95% of the time, literally. And that's not even an exaggeration. I have no idea what set I'm on, but I'm starting to get sweaty. Just like when I started talking about this, I'm like, man, I feel like the weight's too light, this or that. And like, no, this is just right. And you can probably even hear me out of breath. This may be really hard to follow. That's okay. We're getting the reps in. I think a big thing too, the more I'm sitting there thinking about it, is like, man, I just had to break that setup. I just had to do 4 and drop and do one more, and like letting go of what you think things should be is so hard. And especially for a lot of my clients too, going back to that, is like they think things are supposed to be done a certain way or they're supposed to go a certain way, and they hate when it's not going that way. And a lot of times you hear like, oh, just surrender to it, just let it go. And cool, yes, that's right, but how do you do that, right? And that's where a lot of, myself included, clients get hung up, is they don't know how to do that. And whether they're aware of it or not, what's really underneath that is a desire to want to feel in control. And what is really this fear of uncertainty and this desire to want to feel in control is amped up by, like I said, this fear of uncertainty. But there's nothing in life that is certain. The only 2 things that are really certain in life are that you're going to be born one day and then you're going to die one day. And that's what I see more than anything else with the clients that I work with, is this fear of uncertainty and coming back to like, how do you let go? How do you surrender? Because a lot of my clients are like, man, I just want to have more peace of mind. I just want to be more calm. I want to be more relaxed. And they don't know how to be. But part of it is letting go of these expectations, letting go of trying to control everything. And the number one way that my clients, and me too, dude, it takes one to know one, try to control things is by thinking. But what they don't know is that what they're doing and how it works for them is driving them fucking insane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you want something different, meaning to have more peace of mind, to be more relaxed, to be more calm, guess what? You can't do things the same way that you're doing them, because the way that you're doing them is driving the way that you feel. We still got pull-ups. So for anybody out there that's like a type A perfectionist, high performer, high achiever, whatever you want to call it, that's how you let go. That's how you relax the F out. That's how you get chill AF, as people say these days, right? So I don't know where that rant started or that tangent started, but that was a good one. Let's keep moving. Let's see what else comes out. Yeah, and that's it. I think, the more I think about it, these are the things that business owners are unaware of. My clients are unaware of. It's like they want to know how to do these things, but it all starts with the awareness of the things that they avoid, meaning like they try to avoid their thoughts. They don't like sitting in silence because the silence is deafening and it's uncomfortable for them. And they don't like it. They don't like being bored. They like staying busy. But, they equate busyness with productiveness. And it's the exact opposite. Busyness is just distraction. And I think it's so funny that busyness and business are so close in the way that they're spelled. Business owners, more than ever, are some of the most busy people. And that's a big thing with their business, is going back to the control, is like they built this thing from the ground up. They got it off the ground, and it took so much of them that their identity is wrapped up in the business. Business does well, business owner's doing well. Business is stressful, business owner is stressful. So, and that becomes an identity game. Like business is this identity thing for them, and it's hard for them to untangle themselves from their business. So they start telling themselves all these stories. Identity is the story that you tell yourself about yourself and the level of your commitments, meaning the level of the commitments that you commit yourself to doing and actually following through on, which are your habits, tell you who you are. The root of all of that is your perspective, your mindset, the way that you view things, the way that you look at life. And going back to like, you're so sucked into it. Business owners are so busy. They're so distracted. They don't take any time to zoom out and actually look at things through a different lens. And I see it time and time again that when I help business owners do that, they're like, damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know it was like that. I didn't even know I thought that. I didn't even know the extent of that, right? And it's stuff that's literally right underneath their nose. It could be with the business, could be in their life, it could be anything. And when it comes down to it, it's nothing crazy. I just take the time to stay curious, ask them questions, and listen to actually what they're saying. That's the one thing that they don't do because they're so busy and distracted. They don't know how to listen to themselves. They just feel the thoughts. They just see them swirling in their head. They're so fast. And they're like, fuck, I just want this to stop. This is going insane. If they want this to stop, then they got to stop. They got to slow down. It's crazy the lengths and the layers that are to this. So it's like, if there's one thing I think business owners can do better and for themselves and that really help them, is just like take a fucking break. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that it's that simple. And that's why like I do a lot of breath work with clients. Is like, the crazy thing is that they just want that room. They don't know how to take that room. And breath work, it's kind of a scary word for a lot of people, but like it's the best thing you can do, because the way the human mind works is they can literally do one thing at a time. And breath work is just a way of saying like, pay attention to your breath. Put all your focus on your breath. And when I help clients do that, it's really hard for them to do that. They're like, man, but the thoughts just don't stop. And that's just it. They're not going to stop right away. They're just going to try to pelt you and barrage you and distract you like they already do. But it's quiet. So you're not used to hearing them this loudly, seeing them this clearly. But just keep breathing. Set a timer for 5 minutes, or even just forget the timer and literally just do it. Go by feel. Oh, but Collin, I don't know if I have that much time. I have so many other things to do. I don't care. And I say that lovingly. Stop telling yourself you don't have time. Time is everywhere. Every moment here is time. Time is always existing. The only two things that tell you when you're not going to have time is before you're born and after you're dead. So while you're here, you got all the time in the world. So back to that, it's like, just breathe, man. Don't even set a timer. Just breathe until you feel something different. Breathe until you notice your thoughts slow down. Because that's what I was getting at. You got to get over the hump. Okay. Just like anything, there's going to be some resistance in the beginning. There's going to be some friction. There's going to be some static. Your thoughts are static. That's just freaking science, guys. Just breathe until your mind actually calms down, until your body relaxes. And that's the thing. I do this with clients all the time too. And they're like, damn, I'm so tired. How am I going to get anything done today? It's not that you're tired. You just finally got to like a normal state of just being. Breathwork's one of the most powerful things I've ever implemented in my life. And it's the most simple thing. It's free. Everyone can breathe, you know? It's crazy. I should have done ring dips first. I think this is my last round. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Oh, I'm thirsty. You know, and I truthfully, like, I'm in one of those seasons right now. It's uncomfortable as all get out. I don't know what's going to happen. Everything feels super uncertain right now. But what I do know is I'm upgrading my identity. I'm in the midst of an identity upgrade. And it's taken longer than I really wanted to. But even prior to, like, when I started working with coaches, I am working on my mindset, my identity. I was feeling stuck, miserable, burnt out for quite some time before that. I finally reached a point where, you know, the discomfort of the pain and the experience that I was having in life, I needed to do something. But I say all that because, like, you know, the identity hasn't completely upgraded yet. I haven't raised the floor of my commitment yet, you know, and the story that I'm telling myself about myself. I know what I want the story to be, but my thoughts, my inner dialogue hasn't completely matched up yet. But that's where it's like the chicken or the egg concept. Confidence comes from proof, and you need the proof of doing these things and doing things differently. And it comes into this concept of the floor versus the ceiling. You know, so many people look at the ceiling, meaning the capacity at which you could do things, and they try to raise their ceiling by raising the ceiling. But what you do is you actually raise the ceiling by raising the floor, and the floor is the level of your base commitments. And that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now. And it's hard as all get out, guys. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. It's asking me to do things that I'm not comfortable with doing. But guess what? The next level of my business, the next level of my life, the next level of my identity lies in doing those things. So you can choose to either stay in the discomfort of what is now and staying the same, or you can choose the discomfort of doing the new things. Choose your hard, you know. You guys have all seen the meme. Here's your comfort zone. Here's you. Here's your growth. It's a bigger circle than that, right? It's like, yeah, the only way for you to grow into that bigger circle and expand your circle is to push on the edges, which is your floor. You do things differently. And you know what? Sometimes I know when I say it, I get passionate about it and kind of it may seem condescending and I'm talking down to you, but like I tell myself the same thing every single day. Same things. Okay, I think that's 10 sets. It's been longer than I was supposed to spend on that, but I've been sitting here talking this whole time, and that's okay. It really is okay. Uh-oh. You know? So, with that being said, I'm going to start cleaning up right now. But what I'm saying is I hate the season that I'm in because, without going into details, my business isn't burning down. My business isn't crumbling, but my business also isn't where I want it to be. But what I'm experiencing, and I say my business, and a lot of times my business is synonymous with my life as well, because the business, is the vessel in which provides income, and money and resources for me to be able to live my life. But at the same time, I can be in this place of discomfort and not where I want things to be. But life is still happening outside of it. And I always say this, like, you never fall off because time is always moving forward with or without you. It can also coexist with the fact that you can enjoy your life right now and celebrate where you have come from, where you've started from. And for me, reminding me when I started my business, where I came from, what I set out to do, what I wanted to do. And so much of me is living out the life that I just dreamed of having then. I'm probably even 1, 2, 3 steps even beyond that. But the season I'm in now is one of those proverbial 1 step back to take 2 step forward seasons. And it's lasting longer than I want it to. I made decisions right now. It's July 2026. I made decisions in September, October, November of 2025 that I don't want to say I'm seeing the repercussions of, but I'm seeing the result of those decisions now, which then sounded like a great idea. But what I'm saying is there's natural cycles, seasons, and evolutions to life and business. And business and life is not this pure linear trajectory where you're always moving up. And I know I'm in that season. It takes a lot of me pulling out the same tools and tricks, and I don't want to say tricks, but resources that I give my clients to work on myself. And I also have a coach to help guide me through this season, because I don't think you should navigate it alone. And a lot of business owners try to, because they don't feel like they can add one more thing to the plate. But you know, if the one thing that you add to your plate is the thing that helps you get 10 other things off your plate, why wouldn't you? That's a good exchange ratio, right? So the advice that I give myself is to keep going. One thing I do often tell clients, along with, you never fall off, because life and time is always moving forward with or without you. Now, I say all that to my current experience. There's every part of me that just wants to give up and blow the business up and go do something else, because it seems like the grass is always greener on the other side, and it feels like the relief that I'm looking for right now. The relief is going to come. And in this moment, as I'm saying it, and this is my reminder of myself too, and I see it, that the relief is going to come. The change is going to come. The next level of my business is going to come when the next level of my identity comes. And coming back to that letting go and that surrendering thing, my whole life I've been so good at learning things quickly and being able to be what felt like in control. But at the same time, some things you just can't do that with. And then call it God, call it the universe, call it life. That's just how it goes sometimes. And part of it is just accepting that you have so little control over things and you don't even realize it. What you feel like you have control over, you probably don't. You just have enough control over the things that makes it more probable, that makes it seem like you're in control. I can go on in circles and circles. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I don't even know how this video is going to turn out, because I just talked for 33 minutes while I worked out. But if you found value in this and there was something insightful, I'd love for you just to share it in the comments of what you found valuable, what you found insightful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, or you can hop over to Instagram and DM_Meeves, COLLIN_MEEVES. Love to hear from you. I'm just here to create and share value with the world. And like you said, if you found value in this, like. If you like videos like this, subscribe, because I'll be putting more of them out. Peace.